Oh,
it's going to be you. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to have you air on February 1st is going to be your episode.
Okay, cool. That'll work.
Yeah. And Ethan asked if he could share this video on YouTube, on his YouTube. And I told him absolutely.
Yeah. That'd be rad.
Drive more traffic everywhere.
Exactly. So what we'll probably do is just like drop it onto our Patrons for everybody. And then just, then you can release it to your people. And we'll just make it available for everybody. So
that'll work.
Okay. All right. So we'll welcome everybody back.
Welcome back.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody.
I'm gonna interrupt for like a hot
second. My gosh. This is payback. Okay.
We need a good pause.
In the beginning?
Yeah, you have to be like 1, 2, and then.
Okay.
So that way I know when we start.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Our Sleep Life, and I am Kelly.
And this is Mel.
And we are so excited for our guest that is going to be on the show today.
Yeah.
Ethan. And we actually shared his a transformation picture of his on our Instagram.
It was incredible. We got a lot of good responses.
Yes. So we are so excited to pick his brain and find out a man's side of you, because this is a predominantly woman community.
Yep.
And so having a guy that is in this mix and knows what we're talking about is going to be amazing.
And willing to talk about.
I think
is the biggest deal, because I know some guys that lose weight, but they don't like to talk about it.
Exactly.
It's like, be proud of it. I don't understand.
I mean, So let's welcome Ethan onto the show. Go ahead and say hi to everybody.
Hey guys, thank you for having me on. I'm happy to be here, and definitely happy to talk about my story. Like you say, not a lot of guys talk about it and don't like to share about it, and I don't see why, because for me, I always looked up to people that had done it before. It gave me, like proof that it could be done. So if I can be that for somebody else, then, I'm more than willing to tell everybody my story and bring it up in any way I can.
That's awesome. Amazing. Like, I just am floored every time you post a new one. I'm just like, oh my God.
It was really funny. So like when I was building your shout out, it was kind of funny because I was like, oh, hey babe, look, like this is Ethan. And he's like, oh, rad. And then like I kind of like phase in and out when I start typing stuff out for our stuff. Like I get a little sidetracked. So like a good 20 minutes goes by and I was like, oh, and then he did this. And he's like, okay, cool. And then like another 20 minutes goes by and I said something else. And he's like, okay, what's going on with this Ethan guy? Like, I don't understand. Why do you keep telling me about this Ethan guy? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like writing the post.
There's a reason behind this.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, do we know him? And I was like, well, I'm going to get to know him because we're going to interview him. He's like, oh, okay.
Yes, exactly.
Like, I need some context here. I don't understand.
Right. Just like bringing up some other guy and just keep talking about it. He's like, is there a reason this keeps coming up? Like,
are you trying to tell me something?
Like, sorry, babe.
No, your journey is like so inspirational. Yeah. Like not only to guys and seeing that like no matter what you can do this, but just like everybody in general. Like it's just amazing.
Well, yeah, I even showed your story to Eric's friend, who's a bigger guy, and he's slowly gotten bigger over the years. And he's like, he did it? And I was like, yeah, dude, that means you can do it too. And he's like, I don't know, like, what do I do? And I was like, just call your doctor.
Yeah, call
the
doctor. That's the first step. That's the first step.
Like, keep it easy.
Exactly.
So now I'm going to show him your episode. So
there you go.
Speaking of, so how, like, where does your journey really begin? Like, have you always been a bigger fella, or just like it kind of happened, or?
Yeah, no, definitely always been bigger. I was over 100 pounds in kindergarten. I mean, I was, big all my life. I hit 300 pounds in middle school, in 8th grade. So yeah, I've always been, I actually weigh a little less now than I did in 7th and 8th grade. And I'm wearing smaller clothes, like, because I hit 6 foot in like 8th grade, or in 7th grade, but now I'm 6'4", so I'm even a little taller. So even though I weigh the same, like I wear extra large shirts and all that, and coming from a 6XL, that still blows my mind.
Hell
yes.
It's been,
that's amazing.
Oh,
and you're so tall, so you have to even buy a little bit bigger, right? And
yeah, that's the unfortunate part. Like I have to and I have a super long torso. Like all my buddies that were like 5'10", we have the same inseam. Like my inseam on my jeans is like a 30 or 32. but I'm
Okay.
6'4". So it's like all my friends are
Mhm.
like 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", and then we have the same inseam pants, and now we can wear the same size waistband too, so that's cool. So
Oh,
That's awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
Because so funny side note of the 30 inseam is like I'm a 30 inseam and my husband's a 30 inseam and we're both 5'5".
see, that's what I'm
so you
saying. Like
definitely have a long torso.
I have a
That's
very long
funny.
torso. Like I
I love
have
it.
short, stubby legs. Like I make jokes, like that. What is it, Full House or whatever? That little girl, she's like, "Wait for me, I have short legs." Like I genuinely do. Like, they really are short. They're like, "Dude, you're 6'4". You don't have short legs." And I'm like, "What's your inseam on your pants?" And it's the same. And they're like, "Oh damn!" Like what?
They're like, never mind.
When you break down the numbers, you're like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, like
oh
yeah,
my gosh.
It's
Well, you
interesting
don't
for sure.
girls don't have to wait for you to they don't have to catch up to you when you're walking though. So that's a good thing, right?
No, usually
You
not.
walk at the same pace.
Yeah, we walk at the same pace pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's perfect. Yeah, my ex-husband, he is 6'4", but he has such a long inseam. He's got very long legs. And so it was I'm always like, wait for me. Like I've got short legs,
Right.
I can't keep up. And I'd be like running or doing like the jog, like the walk jog. And I'd just be like,
walk.
oh my gosh, I can't keep up. So yeah, no, and I totally understand that. That was my first thought. I was just like, yeah, girls can keep up with you when you're walking. So that's a positive.
I love
That is a positive.
Yeah.
There you go. Always got to find the positives in all of it.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit about your family life when you're growing up, food wise. What was kind of the situation?
Yeah, what was
so I grew up, I was like born in Nebraska. So Midwest is very casserole, meat and potatoes. Like that's your, you eat good and you eat hearty. I grew up I've never known my dad. So it was just like me and my mom and her ex-husband for a while, and my two sisters. But we moved around a lot. I actually moved 17 times before I was 12. Whenever I moved to Texas, like we moved to Texas in, or I guess 2006, we moved down here and I've been here ever since. So it's been a lot of, traveling around, but there was always, fast food was a pretty regular staple, just drive through double cheeseburgers at McDonald's, stuff like that. Or, it was always mac and cheese, like really savory type dishes. And I have a terrible, I have a terrible sweet tooth too. That's my biggest weakness is sweets. So it's the worst.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I am a sweets fanatic. Like if I could eat sweets all day and not eat anything else, I would probably do that.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Like a little too closely. Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
Sure.
We made Muddy Buddies, protein Muddy Buddies with Michaela. We did a baking and I am like addicted to them because they're sweet, but they've got some protein. So I'm like, hey, I'm doing good, right?
Right.
I may be eating Muddy Buddies 3 meals a day, but it's fine. It's got protein.
There's protein. It's okay. Like
exactly.
We're good. We're good. That's awesome.
So as you grew up, did you come across any stigma?
I would say I was going to go with more like health concerns because you said you were 100 pounds by kindergarten.
Yeah.
Was there any health problems like coming up because of that? Because that's a little frame.
Yeah, no, actually there was none. I have very strong bones because of it. I've never broken a bone, so that's a plus.
Okay, that's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, even at my heaviest, I mean, my A1C was perfect. My blood pressure was like at most like 130 over 85, 90, somewhere there. So like my blood pressure was never even high. Cholesterol was always like perfect or a little low. It was like, I always felt like when I finally started, I was like, I feel like I have a second chance because like somehow after putting my body through all that hell for that long, I'm still healthy. Like somehow all my markers and all my numbers are still good. So like if I get on top of this now and get healthy, I can completely turn it around and like salvage my life. Like, I've spent this long being unhealthy statistically, but looking at all my numbers and everything, I still have perfect health. So I can get on top of it. I'm 25 now.
You're 25 now. Okay. And when did you have surgery?
I had surgery. I was, it was a month before my 22nd birthday. So I was 21. Yeah, I had it May of 2017.
Okay.
Was when I had my surgery. Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome. So what made you like, what was your breaking point where you're like, I need to get this under control?
I'll, I was driving down the road, and I was doing probably, 75, 80 mile an hour, which is, normal in Texas. Like,
Yeah.
that's just kind of the speed limits. And I was in an old truck that I had at the time, and the semi pulled out in front of me, and I almost didn't stop. Like, I was just like, I can just keep going. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't my choice to end it. Like, as far as anybody looking at it knows, it was just an accident. Like, it pulled out in front of him, whatever the case, it wasn't suicide. He didn't kill himself.
Okay.
Finally I did, hit the clutch and slow down, and thank God, I guess, obviously I'm still here. So yeah, I did slow down, pulled over, broke down, and was like, God, I can't keep living like this. And I was actually on my way to my mom's, which, like I said, growing up, it was just me and her pretty much. She had me when she got pregnant with me when she was 18. So she was young. I mean, we don't have very much difference in age, so we've always been super close. I was on my way there, and I got there, and I told her, and we just broke down, and I was like, I got to fix this. Like, I got to change. And that was in July of 2016 when I just turned 21.
Okay.
And I scheduled an appointment, and I had my first consultation in August.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Then it was kind of a long road in between that and actually getting to surgery, but we can talk about that if you want.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Can I back up?
You in your chronological order.
Well, no, I was just wanting to piggyback on what you said. So, like, because it sounds like you were thinking about ending it.
Yeah.
So you were sad.
Yeah. I was pretty depressed. Yeah. It was a rough time. Yeah.
And now, was that a lot because of, like, is it food related? Is that just family life, or is that just like because how big were you? Like, we don't really know.
Oh yeah, sorry. So I was 476 pounds. So I was almost 500 pounds at 21. And my mom had always told me growing up, she was like, if you don't stop eating the way you do, like, if you don't stop eating so much, like, you're gonna hit 500. Like, if you don't get this under control, you're gonna hit 500. And I kind of laughed, and I was like, no, that's just those guys on TV. Like, I'm not actually going to hit 500 pounds. Like, that's just like, the 600 pound life, like, shows like that. Like, I'm just a normal guy. Like, I'm not going to hit that. And then I got to where I was within, 25 pounds of hitting 500 pounds, and it just kind of spiraled down. Kind of became a realization, like, holy shit, I'm really going to hit 500 pounds. It just kind of all became real. I got really depressed and really down. Was working a lot, drinking a lot. I used to drink between 18 and 30 beers a day. I was smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day and dipping a can of snuff a day. So I had zero, care for my life or what I was doing. I was just, I would go to work. I was a mechanic. I was working at a Dodge dealership, and I would go work 11 to 12 hours a day and go home and start, crack the first beer open as soon as I hit the dirt roads driving home, and drink until I passed out at 11 or midnight, and wake up and do it all over again.
Because the main reason why I asked was my brother got to 467, so I understand. And we're from a whole family of big people, so and heavy drinkers and things like that. So I was like, something's going on, because I know, like, that's what was happening with us. Like, because I relate to, I would not drink every day, but it would be like on the weekend I could pound almost like an 18 pack to myself. Like, that's
so crazy.
It's fucking ridiculous. And it was like, at first it just started like, oh, I'm gonna keep up with the guys, but then it ended up being like, no, this is what I need, apparently.
This is what I want to drink.
This is ridiculous. So you finally, like, came to the other end, was like, okay, I don't want to die.
Right.
So now you want to.
I hit that point, like, once I stopped the truck and didn't hit, like, once I kind of, I guess, made that decision right then, like, no, I want to live. Like, I guess it just kind of clicked, like, oh shit, I just, didn't kill myself. I had, like, a quote unquote easy way out, and I didn't, like, I want to live. And then it just kind of transpired, like, holy shit, I want to live. Like, I need to live, like, instead of just existing. I spent way too long existing.
Definitely. We were actually just talking about that this morning, how you're just existing, you're going through the motions of every day, and then you have surgery, and you kind of find yourself, but it's like you woke up. It's like, your eyes are wide awake and there's sun shining, and like, you're just like, oh my God, I can do anything I want.
Well, and you start looking back at the times, you're like, what was I thinking? And then you're like, oh wait, I wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
I was just here. Cause that's what I was telling her was like, right after because when I got surgery, I was going to school at the same time. And I noticed it really helped me like evolve and be like way more open to things. And then I felt actually awake. I was like, I know that kind of sounds cliche, but I really do feel awake now.
No, I don't
I'm
think
aware
it's
of what's going on around me.
Yeah.
Like all the good and the bad.
Definitely. Definitely. So what made you choose weight loss surgery?
I always like kind of did the teeter-totter thing, like, you know, I would or yo-yo, I guess is the more commonly used, but I would, you know, I would start at the gym and I would work out and, you know, do things right, and I would lose, you know, did all the fad diets too, obviously. Like I feel like that's just a box we have to check mark before we eventually hit surgery. Like, it's like, let
badly
me try
but true.
Yeah.
let me try this first. Like, I don't know, keto seems nice. Let me try this one first. Let me do this first. Like, I've lost, one time I lost like 67, 70 pounds, and I was going to the gym 6-7 days a week. Like I was doing everything and got down. And then one day, one of my trucks, like I say, I always used to drive like older trucks. Like I grew up restoring and rebuilding classics and stuff. So one day, one of my trucks broke down, and I was like, okay, I got to go to work tomorrow morning. So I need to fix it when I get off work. Got off work and I was like, I can't go to the gym tonight. I need to fix my truck. And that ended it. I didn't go back to the gym for like a year just because of that one day that my truck broke down. So not only did I gain that like 70 pounds back, I gained another 40 or 50. And like, it was always like, I would lose, you know, 20-30 pounds, have a bad day, something happened, I couldn't make it to the gym, or I ate off diet or whatever, and then it's like, I screwed up yesterday, there's no point, like I might as well just, and then I would be back up 50 more, and then it was just constantly going back and forth. And who knows, maybe those like stints of trying to do it and then gaining it back, like maybe that's what kept my like markers, like my health markers and stuff in check. Maybe those brief moments of like, you know, 2 to 3 months of dieting and eating right and everything, maybe that is what kept me healthy on paper. So
that's a good question to ask.
I just kind of hit that point where I was like, that's where surgery came in. Like it was, okay, I need the accountability. Like at the end of the day, like I can go diet, I can work out, I can lose weight, but at the end of the day, one bad thing happens and I'm back to the old me. That was where surgery came in, was because it was kind of that accountability. And that's kind of what I mean about, like, you know, it was like a long bumpy road before I had surgery from my first consultation, because it actually took 10 months, I think. From my first consultation, my insurance said I had to do 6 months with, you know, a nutritionist and all that. They wanted all that stuff covered. So I had to jump through all these hoops, and it ended up taking me 10 months to get in for surgery, because I was doing all my prerequisites for nursing school as well. So I was in school too. And so I went, over that 10 months, I actually lost my first 100 pounds. So I got down, I had surgery at 376. Which was actually the morning for surgery that I woke up. I woke up at like 3 a.m. to go to the hospital for surgery, weighed myself, and I hit 376. Like I'd lost like 2.5 pounds to hit that exactly 100 mark that day.
That's so amazing.
And I told my surgeon, I was like, you know, I had my little bouffant on and everything. I was getting ready for surgery, and I was like, guess what? And he was like, what's up? And I was like, I weighed 376 today. And when I first stepped in your office last year, I weighed 476. And he was like, holy shit, like you lost 100 pounds like before surgery. Like most people struggle maybe to lose the 20 or 25 that I request them to lose for their liver health. Like, you know, you lost 100. He was like, dude, you're gonna fucking crush this. Like, you're, sorry for the language, I don't know if that's a thing.
I cuss all day long.
We both have potty mouths. You're good.
Okay, good. But he was like, dude, you're gonna fucking crush this. Like this is gonna be a cakewalk for you almost. Like he was like, you've proved. It was like, honestly, he was like, have you thought about not having the surgery? He was like, we're still going to do it. Like, I'm not questioning that. He was like, but have you considered not? And I was like, yeah, I thought about it. And a lot of people like grilled me like, dude, why would you still have the surgery? You've lost 100 pounds in 10 months. Clearly you can do it. Like, and then it came back like, I've lost 70 pounds before. I've lost 50 pounds before. Like, I need the accountability. Like, and I'm a big financial guy. So if anything, I need the money. Like, I've spent the money on this. So like, once you personally, like, I can go buy you, you know, $100,000 car, you might not take care of it the same way as if you work your ass off to buy a $100,000 car for yourself. Like, it's like, if I'm financially invested in this, I'm going to treat it right. Like, I'm not going to screw up. I'm not going to cheat myself on this, or, you know, let a bad day stop me, because it's like, shit, I'm a lot of money in this. Like, at the end of the day, like, you know, I mean, I still had out of pockets I had to pay, and they were already paid too, and I couldn't get a refund, so there was no way I was backing out.
Oh, this is happening.
Yeah, because like I'm pretty much the same way, because I remember I was so scared of being a statistic. I was like, no, like there's so much like money in the insurance, what I've had to pay, and then like the time I've had to put into this. Like, if I don't fucking be good and do this shit right, like I'm gonna be so disappointed in myself. So I'm like, you can't do it. If I put money into you, then this is happening.
Well, and like with mine, my insurance covered mine 100%. Didn't have to pay a dime. But when you think about it, like all of the protein shakes, all of the driving back and forth, all of the, you know, like all of those things added up. And I didn't even think about it, but that goes along with like, I've put money into this.
Yeah. You're invested.
I spent a lot of time, a lot of effort to, you know, drive back and forth, because my office was 45 minutes from where I live. So it was a process every single time I went. So yeah, it just makes you more like, I got this. I put so much into it, the before surgery.
Yeah.
So
100%. And I think that makes you be more committed into the process.
100%.
Yeah. I agree completely.
Yeah. So tell us about your pre-op requirements.
So I had to do a 2-week liquid. So yeah, it was just your straight 2 weeks liquid. I did I don't remember. I think I ended up dropping like 11 pounds or something like that, which I was glad, because I mean, I had already lost like, I guess 85, 89, somewhere in there. And so it put me that extra. I was like, all right, let's see if we can hit 100. Like, that was the goal. Like, let's see if we can do it. And I did it. So it was a lot of fun. But great. I say it was a lot of fun. I don't know if there's anything fun about liquid only for 2 weeks.
Right? Oh my gosh. Especially for 2 weeks.
And then 3 weeks after.
Yeah, I did 2 weeks after.
Wow.
Yeah, mine was 3 weeks after. So it was something. That first day of soft foods, I was like, yes, I can chew something.
What did you eat?
1 egg with a slice of cheese on top of it. I had like one little fried egg with a slice of cheese. Like, that was on his list. And I was like, this sounds amazing. Like, fried eggs were always one of my staples growing up. Like, I haven't had it in years. Like, that's all I want.
That's funny.
That's amazing.
I did that, and I did a lot of like chicken salad and stuff like that too. Whenever you know, I hit that point that he allowed that, because I used like canned chicken, so it was like a weird puree stage homemade chicken salad, but it tasted good. So
anything tastes good after 2 weeks of liquids.
Seriously.
Oh
That's
my
not
Lord.
a protein shake. That's not a protein
my God.
Oh my God.
That was ISO pure. Whenever I was on clear liquids, those ISO pures tasted like liquid cottage cheese. It was the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, they're not that great. And
I'm not a fan.
Well, they kind of taste like Gatorade, and I am not a Gatorade fan. Like,
See,
I would much rather just drink straight water.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better about my water intake. I'm not the best with it, but I'm
then
getting there.
You should join our water challenges every month then.
I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to, because I'm struggling. I don't do very well with it.
We tag you every morning, and we talk about how you need to drink your water, get your water going, and then you tag us in your story when you're done drinking or along the day. So,
all right, cool. Really, we'll hop on that.
Okay.
Because some of the girls message are like, oh my God, thank God that you did this, because like I suck at water.
Yeah.
And this is how I found out that I'm great at water, but I suck at protein. So I'm like, oh shit, I thought I was doing great.
Yep. And it's like, you're like getting like 40 grams of protein a day, and you're like, oh, that's not enough.
That makes a little more sense.
Yeah. So we do the protein, the water, and then the physical challenge every month.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's really nice, because it does keep like our people that are on it accountable, but it also keeps us accountable, because we're like, oh, well, if we're telling other people to do it, we better fucking do it. So
right.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm good with protein. That's not an issue at all. I'm 200 plus a day. Like I'm easily, I eat about 3,000 calories a day. So
but I mean,
I can't wait till we get to that.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's later on. That's later on.
Sorry, we'll keep it.
No, you're good. Melanie has a thing about chronological. She doesn't like to bounce around.
Type A.
Yes.
Well, I'm type A, and I have pot brain, and I just want to make sure if we go in order, I won't lose, what's going on. So.
I understand that.
Okay, so you had surgery,
Mhm.
and you did 3 weeks after.
What was your support system?
Yeah.
It was, so I stayed with my mom I had surgery Monday morning. Maybe it was Friday, my bad. Friday morning. I stayed with my mom until the following Friday. So I stayed with her a week, but I was up walking around. Like I honestly could have went back to work and probably should have, but I was working 7 days a week at the time because I was in school too. So I was like, I want to just take advantage of a little time off. Like, I was up walking around. Like we would go to Walmart and stuff and just like, I'd just walk up and down the aisles, like trying to get everything.
Perfect.
Omeprazole was the key. Like I couldn't even take a sip of water with like burping like crazy. Like it wouldn't go down, like nothing. And then I was like, oh shit, I forgot he told me to take this. So like I started taking omeprazole, and like within an hour after I took that first one, I could take a drink of water and like not have anything. Like I was
nice.
oh, that worked great. Like, damn, I did not expect that.
Good to know. Yeah, I didn't know that.
What is it called?
Omeprazole. It's a Prilosec. Yeah, Prilosec. It helped tremendously. Like that and the simethicone, like Gas-X, the chewables.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was I had another friend that had it, and she was like, I'm dying. Like I can't drink water. I can't do anything. Like how did you do this? And because I did it, I mean, I was back at work and back in school within a week, and like she was a week out, and she was like, I'm miserable. What do I need to do? And I went and got like an 88-cent bottle of those simethicone chewables at Walmart.
Nice.
Took them to her, and she was like rocking and rolling within a day. Like she was like, that changed the game. Like because it's just Gas-X, like so it helps dissolve the enzymes or whatever. It's an enzyme, I think, that dissolves the gas or helps with the gas buildup. And I mean that helped tremendously. But yeah, those were my two crutches for sure to get through those first couple weeks.
We can let people know about that, because I know we get questions every now and then, like I'm out from surgery and I can't drink, like it hurts or whatever, it won't go down. So that's good to know that we can give them that.
I would just have them make sure they check with their doctor, because I'm a nurse, so I'm like, because like if I tell someone to take it and then they're allergic to it, then they're like, it's like, well, did you ask your doctor? Like,
exactly.
So it's like, ask your doctor if that's okay. Because some doctors, almost all doctors I've seen around here though will either write a prescription or it's on their like OTC med recommendations, like for either Nexium or Prilosec or something like that, to help with that gas.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get that, but I take Prilosec, like the omeprazole, every day anyways. So that's probably why I never had it. Yeah.
They probably didn't even, like, you're already taking it, so they're probably just like, well, she's just gonna keep taking it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not gonna not take it. So
because I think I only got a nausea pill. Is that the same thing you guys are talking about?
No.
No, it's for heartburn.
Yeah.
It's for heartburn, but it helped. God, it helped so much. Like those two were, I don't know how I would have made it through without that, but
you had severe gas pain.
Yeah. It was it wasn't bad, like as far as like the shoulder and stuff like that. Like I was up, I think I walked my surgery, I was done at like 10:30 or something was when I was finally like awake enough. And I told him to quit giving me like the narcotics, because my mom sucks at driving in Dallas. Like she just gets so nervous and freaked out driving in the city.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to be like sober, like, and with it to help her drive, like navigate this traffic. So they didn't give me any more narcotics after 10 o'clock. And by 1 o'clock, I had walked 20 laps around this big ass hospital in downtown Dallas and done. Nice. So I was out of the hospital by 1:30, I think. So yeah, I mean, I was rocking and rolling and perfectly fine. Like I say, I actually went home and watched Food Network that entire week. It was,
how did you do that?
Well, I love cooking and stuff, like, and I always loved the Food Network. So I was just like, I was laying there watching it, and I was just like, man, this looks so good. Like, and I'm just not, taking my little tiny sips of water. Like I was just, but I don't know. I'm one of those people that watching it, even like when I'm dieting and like can't have any of that, like I will still like look at pictures of food and sweets and stuff like on Instagram, like all of those like glorified pages and stuff. Like I'll still look at that and watch all that, and it's just like it satisfies that, like, man, I'm gonna be able to have that soon. Like, maybe 3 months from now, but I'm gonna be able to have something like that.
So
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, it doesn't
right. Right.
It doesn't fuck with you in the moment. Like you can still like be fine.
Yeah, yeah, I can
For me,
still.
it's a smell. If I smell the food,
If I smell it,
that's
it's bad. If I
it's so
smell the smell,
bad. I'm like, why
it's
did you
bad.
cook that, you jerk? Like,
Right.
ah.
Whenever I was dieting for that show I did, I was like, I worked at a pharmacy and they brought in one of our like patients brought in, he owned a donut shop and he brought in fresh donuts. And I was like, my stomach was like eating itself inside out. I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And so like I would go in and like I would sit in the closet, like in the room where they had them. I would sit in there, but I would eat a protein bar. So I'm smelling it, but I'm eating a protein bar. So I'm like getting that sweet, like, so it like I was getting the smell, but I was eating something sweet, and then like I don't know, it worked like that. I don't
That's
know.
awesome.
I
Yeah,
managed.
it's satisfied, like the whole like you have to chew something with a sweet smell.
Yeah. Like I got all the senses wrapped up. Like we're good.
You're like in this little closet. You're like,
exactly. Eating one of those like cardboard tasting protein bars. Like it is what it is.
Oh my
God.
It
is what it is.
You said it. You said you're on a show.
Bodybuilding.
You're on a bodybuilding.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I figured you wanted to keep it chronological. So
okay, that's a little bit later, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right,
a little bit later.
Okay, so tell us your journey from being, so you got home, you went back to school and work in a week. Tell us about after that, like how you did with your food, how you did, how you started working out,
like all the good things and bad things, like breakdowns and like victories and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I went and like I said, I was back at work and school. Being in Texas, everything's fried, and all the drinks are super sweet. So I had to figure out a way around that. I was doing a lot of the like Mio and Crystal Light and stuff, like because I just plain water it hits the spot like once or twice a year. And then other than that, like I need something flavored.
Yeah.
But so I did a lot of that to help, like, that was probably, I would say 6 weeks out. Like when I could take probably 3 to 6 weeks out when I could take normal drinks, not the tiny little sips and like, oh, I got to sit upright. Like I got to make sure I'm, good or it's going to come back up or whatever. But yeah, I, was going to work. I was doing, that was the summer classes. So I was doing school 4 days a week from 8 to 12. And then I would get off and go to work, and work like, I think probably 1:30-ish to like 7:30 or 8. And I was doing that most days of the week. I started in the gym. I like got a membership to Planet Fitness, and I would just like do like minimums, kind of, treadmill and stuff, just little bit. And then I started doing like this weird program I found online, just doing basic dumbbell, like just trying to lift something, like because I power lifted in high school and played football. So like I knew my way around weights and lifting and stuff. But like I don't know, it's just I had lost a lot of strength, I guess, like starving myself and being in that way. So I got back in the gym and was just kind of working my way through it, but it wasn't really like, it was just something I did to check off a box, like, oh, I went to the gym. Like it was kind of a feel good thing, like, oh yeah, I did it. Okay. And I ended up losing the second 100 pounds between the surgery and February of 2018. So like late January, early February of 2018. So that was what, 7, 8 and a half, 9 months. I lost that second 100 and hit 276. And then I was like, oh, I lost 200 pounds. Like, damn, that's crazy. Not a lot of people do that. Like that's not something that happens very often. And now since Instagram has blown up, I realize it happens a little more often than you think, but still, it's still like something.
That's incredible.
That's a hell of accomplishment.
Right. Now I see these people that have, like, some people have lost over 300. I'm just like, I can't imagine. Like, that's like unreal.
Yes.
But yeah, so I ended up, I got kind of, I guess, comfortable. I was in nursing school, so that's a little crazy, and I was still working full time, and I just kind of let that become almost an excuse, like to get back to that just existing. kind of. Like I had lost the 200 pounds. I'd proved to myself, I'd maintained it. Like I started July of 2016. Here it is, February, March, April, May 2018. And I'm just like, I'm still sitting around 265 to 275. And I just got comfortable. Like I was, I was drinking like wine and stuff, hanging out with friends and like, just doing whatever. But like I let like, I'm working full time and going to nursing school. Most people, even in nursing school, like get stressed and like just their body, they let themselves go, like whatever, they don't, that their health and their like appearance or whatever isn't their top priority in nursing school. And like, so I took that and then, and I'm working a full-time job, like, so I just kind of like used that as assurance in my mind, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay right now.
Yeah.
And
justifying it.
Yeah, that's justification. That's the word.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, because you are doing incredible things. Like nursing school is not easy by any means.
No.
Right.
And then you're working on top of it. Like I understand like how you can get complacent and just justify like, yeah, it's hard to even now go work out after all that.
Yeah.
I mean, was your food at least on point? Like, did you have like some rules for yourself?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I was still only able to, at that point, I was probably eating around 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day.
Okay.
So it was still pretty decent. I mean, I had quite a bit of restriction. I didn't do really like any fast food pretty much. I tried to stay away from that. If I went somewhere, it was like more of like a sit down type, like nicer restaurant where the meals are actually like quality food.
Right. Yeah.
So I did that. And then I kind of played around then. I did a couple like smoothie cleanses, like, like those little 14-day, like somebody would be like, oh, I want to try this. I'm like, yeah, screw it, I'll do it. Like knowing I have an upper hand because I don't really get hungry anyway. So I'm like, yeah, why not? Like I'll do it.
Yeah.
I went through a vegan phase. I did vegan for like 3 months. I actually really felt good on that. Like, I just felt like my sleep was better. My wake ups were easier. Like I liked it a lot, but it was just not long-term something I could do.
Yeah.
I like burgers too much.
I was going to say, meat's
it's hard with our surgery because meat is like the biggest source of protein,
Right,
and so
right.
like because I haven't done vegan, but my husband did. And that was the same thing. He was like, oh, but meat, like just hamburger.
Like you have to eat so much like vegan protein, like sources, you have to eat so much of it. Because like 1 ounce of ground beef or chicken or whatever has like, I don't know the number, but like 2-3 times the protein that 1 ounce of a vegan protein has. So you had to eat so much, and eating a lot of volume isn't exactly something that we could tolerate that well.
Exactly.
So I was like, I think I need more like bang for my buck. Like if I can get 30 grams of protein out of this meal, if I have chicken breast with it, as opposed to 10 grams of protein if I have vegan, like I think I should probably stick to more of the protein side.
Yeah. And the vegan protein shakes and things like that, they do not taste good. Like
they're very hard to find good tasting ones. They have a weird, like gritty, most protein has a weird taste, but vegan has, like, you can tell, like it's like, this is that like pea protein or whatever, like
because we were trying, because we do reviews on Thursdays with all sorts of like protein products, and we tried a vegan, like a couple times, vegan protein bars, and we didn't realize how grainy they are. Like,
it was so bad.
Disgusting.
It was like, so bad.
No.
Like it's very rare that we like actually spit out what we're trying. Yeah. Like we have a rule that we're like, nope, you have to swallow it with that, which that's what she said. But it's like you have to swallow it. And there's sometimes where we're like, oh no, it's gonna not like happening. No, we can't do it.
Oh, it's so
and I
bad.
think that was one of them that we were just like, yeah.
Well, someone's like, those are supposed to be like that. And we're like, fuck, why would you eat it?
Yeah, why would you do that to yourself?
F that.
There's so many. I mean, protein shakes and protein bars are not like your favorite thing, but there are some good tasting ones out there. Like we found a few really good tasting.
Like I love Dive Bar. I will shout them from the rooftops.
Yeah, Dive Bar is really good.
We get them almost every month. Dive Bar.
It's Dive Bars.
Yeah, they're a smaller company in Florida.
I'm trying to think if those are the ones I've seen or not. I
They've
don't
got
remember. I'll have to
caffeine
look
in
them up.
them.
Yeah, because they have caffeine in them.
See,
So
I've
you
seen
protein and
I've
caffeine
seen one
in the
that's a
mornings.
Jimmy's
Jimmy
Jimmy's
bars.
bar or something like that.
No.
Don't do
There
it.
was
No.
one I saw. They were like Rice Krispie treats. They're like Rice
Oh.
Krispie treats, kind of, but
Oh.
they had caffeine and protein in them. And there was one that
Okay.
was like a caramel macchiato flavor or something, and it was amazing. I can't remember
Huh.
if it was
To try
Jimmy or
that.
not, though. It might not have been. It was a smaller company, but Walmart carried them. I'll have
Oh.
to see if I can find them.
Yeah,
Yeah, let us
Fire,
know.
You have to actually go to their website and do
Yeah.
it. But
Okay.
we do have a code and you get 20% off. So it's kind of it's really cool. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just ordered some last night.
Nice. I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, no, they're really good. I mean, we haven't really found one that we don't like from them. I mean, there's a few that we were just like, it's okay. But
yeah,
I mean, it wasn't like spit it out, gross, like.
Yeah, and it's gooey. So it depends, like you have to know what you like.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
gooey.
Yeah,
So,
they have a what is it, trash can cookie, and it's like M&Ms and
Oh shit.
yeah, I'm telling you.
So it definitely like
They're
fixes
good.
that whole like sweet tooth that you want
Yeah.
because they are. I mean, they're a glorified candy bar if you think about it. It's just
100%,
and that's fine. At least you're getting some more nutrition than that damn candy bar because that kind of candy bar is so way worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's got caffeine in it, so it keeps you going. Because
I'm a caffeine junkie. It's a problem.
Yeah, she is too. It's
It's a problem.
Yes, there's sometimes where I have like 8 shots of espresso in one day. Like,
yeah, I usually when I do drink coffee, I would say it's probably I think I get 4 to 6 shots.
Yeah,
it's usually
you guys are
my go.
ridiculous.
I know, but it's so hard to function when you don't have your caffeine.
Like I don't know what I would be like on that. Like I have no clue. I literally just drink water and iced tea. Like what's in your basic iced tea? Like
you would be like in a speed racer.
20. Well, see, the thing is, like, my baseline is caffeine, like caffeinated.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my baseline now. Like I'm miserable without it. Like I've got that much of a dependency. I kind of probably need to fast off of it and like just completely cleanse of it for a week or two, because my tolerance is way too high. Like,
I think Starbucks would worry if I wasn't there.
if you didn't show up.
Yeah. I think they'd be like, what happened to Kelly?
Well, especially the one near your house. They're probably like, we haven't seen that girl in like a week. What is
what is going on?
What is going on?
I know. It's bad. It's really bad. But I mean, like I can't get away from it.
See, mine is energy drinks. Like
Okay.
that probably I figured that's probably something that y'all would want to talk about, but like caffeination, I mean carbonation is something that like has never bothered me. So
okay.
Oh really? Because I was gonna ask like when did you start drinking coffee and then when did you start drinking caffeinated drinks?
For like drinking energy drinks, I would say I started energy drinks and I do a lot of like diet and 0 calorie soda and stuff too.
Okay.
But I started that I would say probably 6 to 8 months out, somewhere in there. I would say. So you
were over halfway.
Yeah, I was far enough out that but I mean now like I literally will drink probably 4 or 5 diet sodas a day and 2 or 3 energy drinks a day, like depending.
Well,
so that's like
your body used to it. Yeah, like you're
it's
to handle it.
Yeah, it's actually the only like even I guess I don't know if you want to talk like restrictions or like what I have going on now, but like literally the only thing that I know that I had the surgery now, other than the scars, is like I can't drink and eat at the same time. Like those two, drinking and eating together or within a certain time frame, like that, it causes problems still. So that's like the only thing. I mean, like I say, my caloric intake is high. Like, you know, I can eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories in a day if I'm, you know, just going out to eat or enjoying myself or whatever. Like I can definitely put away some calories now. But
do you track your food?
Yeah, I use MyFitnessPal. Yeah, I do that, and I follow like if it fits your macros. So like I have a set amount of calories. Like my coach right now has me on 2,600 because I'm doing a little mini cut, trying to drop some weight, just clean up my physique, my body, look a little better. So I'm cutting down a little bit right now. We had it at 3,000, but my ankle messed up, so I had to limit my cardio, and I can't work my legs anymore right now. So until my ankle heals up, so we dropped it down to 26. I hit the gym way too hard, too fast. I got out of the gym for a while, and then I went right back into it and did everything the way I was whenever I was working out every day for a year and a half.
Oh,
I got on the stairs and was like doing the Stairmaster at like level 14 and did 45 minutes. And then I was on the treadmill with like a 9-degree incline, and I
Jesus,
was
sir.
4 miles an hour walking, and I stretched out my Achilles tendon. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's your body saying, excuse me, sir.
we're going to have to ease back into this.
Yeah, exactly.
Slow your motherfucking roll.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Right.
We haven't done this shit in a long time.
I think what really got it was I was doing like calf raises. So like
Okay.
had the machine, that goes on your shoulder and you like drop your ankles down and raise up.
Oh yeah.
I was doing that, and I had, I think, 350 pounds on top of my weight. And then I was doing that. So I had like, I don't even know, probably 550, 600 pounds total on that. And I like stretched it out and then came up, and it was the next day that it really started hurting. So I think that was kind of when I screwed it up.
Yeah.
But I have really bad bone spurs in that ankle. So I thought it was just my bone spurs. And I'm like, they'll heal up. So I kept hitting the gym at the same intensity for like 2 weeks, just like limping around like crazy. And I finally went in, and he was like, he was like, where the bone spurs were, he was like rubbing it around. Like he was like, does this hurt? Does this hurt? I'm like, no. And then he touched the back, and I'm like, and he was like, well, your bone spurs are up on the front side. That's not your bone spurs. I was like, so why the hell does my ankle hurt? And he was like, you have tendonitis in your Achilles. And I was like, okay, so how do I fix it?
You don't.
What do I
do?
He was like, you're going to wear a boot for 3 weeks, stay out of the gym, do this, this, and this. And I was like, can I still do arms? Like, can I still do
You
my
are
upper body?
so
He was
funny.
like- he was like, yeah, do all your upper body you want. He was like, keep the boot on and don't do anything on your legs. He was like, the more you work it, like the longer it's going to take, and you may end up never healing it right. And I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah,
You have to listen.
seriously, 2
Right.
weeks, sir. Why would you walk around for 2 weeks?
I was
in
limping
so
like
much
crazy.
pain? Yeah.
It was bad. I
Not
was like, oh, it's going to get
necessary.
better. I'm
So
going to wake up
next
tomorrow and it'll
time-
be better.
Yeah, next
Oh,
time.
I got all the things now. I got like some orthotics made for my shoes. Like I got
Awesome.
good like custom insoles. I got
You're
like a night
fancy.
splint, like keeping it like I keep
Yeah.
it stretched out when I'm sleeping now. Like got all the stuff.
Wow.
We're rocking now.
Okay. All
It's
right.
I've been going on about 10 days with no pain, but he wants me to stay out the gym or stay off my legs for a while. But I have started doing treadmill. I have started doing
'cause
treadmill again.
We're gonna start yelling at you if we see it. Keep
All right.
that in mind.
And you're a
Good to see.
nurse, my friend. What are you
I
doing?
know. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? That's why I'm like, it's okay. We'll just take medicine and keep going.
Oh,
We're good.
no.
We're good.
No,
We're good.
I
it
love it.
doesn't work like that. No.
It didn't. It did not work like that.
So when were you released to go into the gym, and then when did this whole bodybuilding thing like start?
So I was released to go back at like, so you have like the no more than, I think 20 pounds is what mine was. You couldn't lift anything more than 20 pounds. Like, so gym was definitely a no, for like 6 weeks. And then I think I was good after that. He said, after the 6 weeks, he said I could go back to the gym, but like, I think it was no more than 50 pounds for a while.
Okay.
I want to say it was probably at about the 3-month mark that he was finally like, yeah, you're good. So I started, he was just wanting me to like not go in and start doing sit-ups and shit and rip my abdominal wall open again.
Right.
So I eased back into that for sure. But that was all, it kind of took forever. Like I said, February, March, all that, like in nursing school, I just kind of hit that point of existing and got tired of it. And so October was actually, I'd met this guy through, trying to grow my Instagram and stuff, that back in the day, like the thing used to be all these like engagement groups, like it'd have like 7 to 10 people in a group with similar interests.
Okay.
And anytime you'd post, you'd say, yo, like I just posted, and you'd get people to go comment and like it and all that stuff. And just kind of like trying to boost your exposure, engagement on your posts. And I met this guy, somebody I knew had added him, the guy from Idaho. And he was really cool. He was going to school for exercise physiology, and he knew what he was talking about in the gym and everything. So we hit it off. And after a month or two of following each other and always talking, I was like, hey, like I have a long drive back from school. You think we could get on a phone call? And I called him, and we talked for like an hour and a half. And I was like, this is in October of 2018. And I was like, I just, I've lost all this weight. I was like, but I feel like I haven't done anything. Like I've just kind of hit this point that I'm just like existing. Like I've settled into realizing like, okay, this is who I am now. Like I'm not 500-pound guy anymore. Like I'm this now. But I used to be, being the big guy, you're the one that everybody is like, hey, you know, can you pick this box up and move it? Hey, this is heavy. Can you get this over there? And like, so I was always the person that people would ask. And being 6'4", you still get it. Like people will still ask you, but like, if you looked at me, I look like skinny fat. Like if you could look at me and it was just like, he's not like, if you didn't know my story, you would just think I was like another unhealthy dude, like sat at the desk and worked all day and snacked or whatever. Like if you didn't know my story, I just looked like I was just your normal guy that had a 9 to 5 and sat at his desk too much. Like that's all it was. And I didn't like that. So I called him and explained all that. And he was like, yeah, you know, I'll get you on a program. Like we can definitely work together. So I got his program and he asked me, he was like, have you ever heard of Christian Guzman? And I was like, no, who's that? And he was like, well, look him up. And so I looked him up, has like 7 million followers or 2 million, I don't remember, but has a bunch of followers crazy. And like, yeah, like just huge page on Instagram and YouTube. And he runs Alpha Elite, which is like a clothing company,
I've heard of that,
athletic clothing company, has a gym and all that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And he said, well, he does a bodybuilding show, but he has a transformation class. And he sent me this video and he's like, watch this video. And I watched the video and it was the guy. I mean, there was people that were like battling like bulimia and anorexia and stuff, and they had gained weight and put on muscle and stuff. And then there was people that had, you know, lost 100 pounds to get there and like compete in the show and stuff. And I was just like by the end of it, the way he does his show, like his YouTube videos is like artwork, like the transitions and everything, like the quotes and like the stuff he says, like it's just motivating as hell. And I, by the end of it, I was like teared up and I texted him, I was like, I'm doing this show. And he was like, are you sure? Like, are you for real? And I had just done an interview not long ago with Better Bodies, is a clothing company out of Dallas. And they have the biggest gym in Dallas. And had done an interview with them about my story. And I was like, you know, they're all bodybuilders and stuff. Like everybody that was interviewing me was just like massive. And so I'm like, you know, I've always like, that was some of my inspiration. Like, yeah, I got inspiration when I was heavy by looking at people that had lost weight, but I would always look at like people that were like doing bodybuilding or even not even necessarily like actually on stage, like competing, but people that were just bigger, like just jacked, like had that beach body, you know, like Thor, like that kind of like, that just looked good. Like I always looked at that and I was like, damn, like I wonder if I could ever look like that.
Yeah.
So it was always like a dream to like put on that kind of stuff and be able to look like that. And so I told him, I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna do that. Like that's always been a dream. I sent him that video I did where I was talking about that. And he was like, well, shit, let's make it happen. And so we started working together. I was about 275 pounds or so then, and hadn't been hitting the gym on any kind of like structured plan.
Okay.
So we started like upping the food, and he was like, all right, now track it, but try and hit like 250 calories or 250 grams of protein, you know, 300 grams of carbs and like 70-80 grams of fat. And I was like, oh, damn, this is going to be crazy.
What does that look like in food? Like what would you eat today?
So I pretty much for the most part eat the same thing every day. Breakfast, I do 4 egg whites, 2 whole eggs, and like a chicken sausage. I go to Trader Joe's and get their chicken sausages, and I'll like slice it up and like quarter it or cut it in half and then slice it and then like saute it and then cook the eggs and have it all cooked together with 2 tortillas and like fat-free cheese. That's my breakfast. And then lunch is 6.5 to 7 ounces of chicken breast shredded up with 2 tortillas and fat-free cheese. And I'd usually do buffalo, but like just shredded buffalo chicken tacos. And then for dinner, I'll either do buffalo chicken again, or I'll do like lean ground beef, like 7 to 8 ounces of lean ground beef, sauteed with like onions and peppers and stuff, and just make tacos out of that. Like I don't do the typical like rice and stuff. Like tortillas are my carbs. Like I love tortillas and tacos. So that's where I get it. Nothing's
better than a warm tortilla.
I'm telling you,
it's nothing. Say it.
I didn't want to say that. I was going to have a smart comment, and then you hit me, but I lost it.
Oh my God. So how long does it take you to eat a meal that size?
Yeah.
Like,
how does that work?
Breakfast is usually gone in like 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, because I wake up at 4:30 to 5, somewhere in there, and go to the gym. and eat when I get home from the gym. So, and I usually leave for work around 8:30. So I have, I go to the gym from roughly 5 to 7:30 or so, and then I have 30 to 45 minutes to make and eat breakfast, get ready and everything. I'm kind of high maintenance, so it takes me a little while to get ready.
I feel like you're a little bougie with your special insoles for your
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, I did not buy the $50 ones that the doctor tried selling me, though. I found some on Amazon that were like $17, $18.
Okay, all right.
My kind of guy.
Okay.
They're amazing. He was like, I'm going to recommend some, special custom orthotics, blah, 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 with this, and this. And so I just typed in orthotics with heel lift and something. And I typed it all into Amazon. The first thing that popped up had like 30,000 reviews and like 5 stars. And I was like, let's get them.
I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's great. Okay.
The splint he was trying to sell me, the splint was $115. And I found that on Amazon, the exact same one for $33, I think.
Like, I was gonna say that's insane.
It doesn't exactly. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much money you make or how much money you have. I'm always gonna find the cheaper option. Like that's just, except for cars. That's kind of where I struggle. I like cars.
You got your one.
Everybody has their one thing. Like
I have a couple. That and apartments and houses and stuff. Like, I like to live nice, but I don't know. I mean, I still think I budget a little bit. I'm very my problem is I'm too stingy in budgeting until I spend it. Like once I spend it, the floodgate opens and I'm like just swiping it every store. I'm just like, whatever. Like, I've been stingy
let it
for
rain.
the last 2 months. Like, let's just make it rain all over it. Like, we're good. And I go back and like, then I'm like, crap, I can't believe I spent that much money. Now I got to be stingy for 3 months. Like,
balance it out.
I'm trying to find the budget friendly side of me.
I have to remind her, like, just don't live outside your means.
Because I like
not easy.
I like nice things, and
I like nice things too.
Right? I'm like,
and coming from I so can't say that on a podcast. Coming from like pinching pennies and shit, like you have to realize like what do you need versus what you want. And I like nice things too. I'll just save for a while. It's like,
and
it takes
instant
me a while
gratification
to buy it. Like, that's all. I'll just be like, hey, I'll buy that next month when I can surely have that $100 to do that.
Right. That's kind of how I look at it. It's like, if I'm gonna like buy something nice that I definitely don't need, like I want to make sure I don't notice the money's gone. Like I want to make sure I have enough that it's like once I swipe it, I'm not going to be like, okay, shit, are all the bills still going to be okay? Like, am I still going to be able to do this or this? Like, I want to make sure it's like, okay, I don't even notice. Like, and I'm like a levels person. Like, once it's like, if I'm like within a $50 to $100 of hitting something else, or if I'm like, say I want to buy something that's $200 and I'm at, only $100 away from dropping to the next level, like, I won't buy it because it'll put me below, like whether it's 2,000 or 2,500, like whatever the number is in the bank account. Like I don't want to like drop below. Like if I'm sitting in the twos, like I do not want to drop to the teens. Like, so I'm like, nope, we can't buy that. Like, nope, we're going to put $3 in gas just so I don't drop below. Like it's a struggle.
My husband will make fun of me. He's like, stop acting like we're poor. There's money in there. And I was like, no, that's for a rainy day. That is not money to like use. And it's true. It's because like when you grow up poor though, like you really value the dollar. And so you're just like, oh, what if I don't have it? So like sometimes I'll wait that whole like 2-3 months to buy something. And sometimes I forget that I even wanted it in the first place.
Well, that's a good sign that you're just like,
I take that as a positive. Like that's like, okay, cool. Like I can live without it. We're good.
I don't need that. Yes. I do need, just hold me to it. And this is totally a side note. I totally need towels for the bathroom.
Yes, you do.
I need hand towels. I'm like, I make hand towel money. I should be able to.
Okay, so other side note for this story, they have one light pink towel in their bathroom, and it's like this big. And so I go into the bathroom and like I'll wash my hands, and I'm like, what do I do with this? Like, it's so tiny. Like,
you just have to pat.
Yeah, I'm like,
like there's no need for that.
No, and I'm like, Melody, I will buy you hand towels for Christmas. Just please get more towels.
You gotta go to Home Goods. Home Goods is where it's
Right.
at.
And that's my jam.
Mhm.
Like she introduced me to it, and that would open my eyes and realize like, oh, you actually can afford these things. Like
Well, you can buy nice things on budget.
Yeah, like you
Like,
totally
Yeah,
can.
like
I just didn't
you walk in there
realize.
and there's like down comforters that are Calvin Klein and they're like 50-60 bucks. I'm like, oh shit, like
yeah. Okay, I'll
like,
take 2. Thank you.
No.
right, like
Not 2, 1. That's what
That's my mentality. Like, oh, it's a deal.
Yeah,
I'll get 2.
that's where I struggle with that so bad. Like I'm like, I only need 1, but they're like, if I buy 1, it's regular price. If I buy 2, then I save money. Like what? I think I'm getting this 1 cheaper if I buy 2, but I'm spending
Mhm.
more overall. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
God, this is exhausting. Like,
Yes.
why am I like this?
Why is the world like this? Why do we need to spend more money to save money? And in our head, it makes sense, but in reality, it doesn't really.
Oh, it's a whole marketing thing, guys.
Oh yeah.
That's a whole mind thing for you guys to buy stuff.
Yeah.
And there's certain personalities that will totally do it.
I think me and Ethan are on the same page.
Because
we fit the list.
He does it too. He totally does it. I'm like, babe, like you're not actually making the deal though. He's like, no, but like I am because it's discounted. And I was like, no, like you're still buying more right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think it depends on what it is.
Yeah,
like energy drinks, like when they're 2 for $4 or 1 is $2.99. Yeah, like I'm gonna drink another one. Yeah, it might force me to drink another one sooner than I'd planned on, but it just depends on the situation.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
but if also like some stuff it just doesn't make sense, but then some stuff if it's like I don't even know, but like if it's like a ticket item, like something you could put on like Facebook Marketplace or something, you could sell for retail and make some money, or even a little cheaper than retail. Like buy one, get one 50% off. You sell it for 75% of the price. You made 25%. Like
that's true.
It's all about flipping stuff. Like sorry,
I like it because I never even thought about that. I know we got way off topic.
Yeah, we did.
We got way off topic.
Yeah, I don't know how we. Okay, so tell us about the competition. Like that's what we want to know.
Yeah, really. Like when did you? Yeah, because you were talking about the guy and got inspired to start the training to do this stuff.
Yes. So I started working with him. I was like 270 again. Started working with him and he was like, all right, let's try and gain some weight. And I was like, wait a minute, like like
no.
like you that have been skinny all your life, that might be okay, but I've come from a completely different world and that is not what we do there. Like what do you mean gain weight? He was like, no, like trust me, like you're in the gym working your ass off every day. He was like, you're eating in a caloric surplus. All you're going to do, like you're going to gain muscle. Like I'm controlling it to where like he's telling me the numbers to eat and he's tracking it weekly. So like he's telling me what to do, and the way I'm working, it's limiting it to like I'm eating so much protein, like it's limiting to 90% of the weight I'm going to put on is going to be like muscular weight. Like it's a slower weight gain as opposed to like, all right, I gained 5 pounds last week. Like that's no muscle. You got fat. Like you put on some fluff. Like that's all that is. And trust me, I've had some 5 to 10 pound weight gain weeks. Like they're not fun. But we started working and I mean that was in October. I want to say by like the end of January, I was up sitting probably around 285 or so. Like I definitely gained a little, like I've discovered In and Out at the time. So I was eating a lot of In and Out. So
I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a double, but, and so I was like, I was putting weight on and I was like weighing more than I had, but like my shoulders were actually rounder, like my traps were getting bigger. Like I was like, holy shit, like I'm actually starting to look like strong again. And like I was actually starting to like feel like my arms always like had that like pump. Like I always felt like, I had tone in myself. Like I was carrying myself differently. I was just like, holy shit, like this is happening. And then in February, this is 2019 now, February 2019, they, the video announced the show for that year. They were like, we're going to be doing the shows on this day, June 29th.
What's the show called?
So it's the Summer Shredding Classic is the bodybuilding show. So it was the Summer Shredding Classic and they were like, had all the different divisions and they had the transformation class. And so that morning I went on and, bought the ticket for myself, like the entry, and I recorded my starting like update like that. And then I had 25 weeks total from that day to the show. And I took a bunch of pictures, took my starting video, and I was like, all right, let's do this. So we started the 25-week prep. And at that point, it was like very meticulous. Like you did not go over your calories, like no matter what. Like there was no, like even weekends, like 7 days a week, you were eating your calories. 6 days a week, you were doing the gym the way that, doing everything, every rep. Like there was no
doing exactly
corners cut. Like, like you were just, you were following, you're checking off boxes. Like you were like, okay, it's time, eat this, do this, do this.
Sorry to interrupt you for a second, but what kind of video did you have to do?
It was just like basically like standing, like you just record and you're like, all right, this is what it's, show your phone. It's like, it's February 4th, I think. And I was like, I would currently weigh 276 pounds, 278 pounds, something like that. And I just, front, sideways, both sides, and then your back. And then do the same thing, like flexing, so that you could make another one at the end and compare them. Like you would submit both of them to the team. It was like just this summer shredding competition they did.
I like it.
So started that, went through the prep, and I lost 46 pounds, another 46 pounds. So I was down 246 pounds total. I got down to 230 pounds.
Hell yeah.
I remember the day I hit 238, it was fucking insane. Like, cause that was 230. I had lost 238 pounds and I weighed 238 pounds.
Yeah.
Like I was like, holy shit, I'm half the person I was. Like this is
literally
it was just like mind blowing. Like I was like, I cannot even imagine. Like it was just crazy. And so that was a big day. That was a lot of fun. I always thought my goal weight was 220. Like I was like, I think 220 will be decent. Like I won't be too skinny, but I got down to 230 and I tested and I was 7.6% body fat. Wow. And that's like the pro bodybuilders are like 4.5%, 5%.
Yeah.
Like the people you see like on the stage that are just kind of to the average person like freaky and weird looking, and it's like, who the hell would do that? Like you can literally see the shape of their skull, like they're so skinny, like all that. They're like 5%, and I was 7.6, and that was with a lot of loose skin. Like had I not had all the loose skin, it might have been different. Like might have been lower. But I mean, I was miserable. Like my joints hurt, my knees hurt, like everything. Cause like I was so lean, like I did not, like I was just dried out. Like it was crazy. Like I was like, how did I ever think I was gonna weigh 220? Like I'm sitting here at 230 and I'm like, dying to get here. Like, yeah. But even then, the lowest my calories a day ever got, I've got down to I think 1975 or something like that. So I was still eating almost 2,000 calories a day, and had managed to lose that 50 pounds over those 20 weeks. But yeah, it was freaking insane. Like it was, I had the biggest weight loss like number there. And it was wild. Did
you win, or was there a?
So everybody says I got second. There was a lot of kind of what's the word? Skepticism.
Yeah, skepticism. Yes. Yeah.
There was a lot of people. Two of the judges, one of the judges is a big YouTuber, bodybuilder. Like he'd become a friend of mine through Instagram, and he came up to me and he was like, I mean, I voted for you. He was like, honestly, that was the hardest thing. Like, I don't know how you didn't win that. He was like, but he was like, I think everybody liked the other guy's video because you had to make like a 2-minute introduction video before you walked out on stage to reveal. And like mine had about, like getting the point I wanted to die, like, but my videographer backed out on me like a week before it was due. So I had to piece everything together myself. And it's like me sitting there in my living room and I'm just like, this sucks. Like, he was like, I think that they liked his video better is like what got it. But that's like dumb. It was, it is whatever. But the winner of the show only got $1,000, and I actually won the online competition and won $2,000. So it kind of worked out. Like, it kind of worked out well. So I won the online competition. I think they chose 10 guys and 10 females, and I was one of them, and won it. So that was that's awesome. Well needed because I was in nursing school and I was just like, man, that $2,000 is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, so I did all that. My Instagram like blew up that day. I mean, that was like, there was just mega, like Christian Guzman, the guy that owns Alpha Elite and like hosted the show and all that. Like he walked up to me and was like choked up, and he was like, that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Like he was like,
Aw.
that was like, he was like, why the hell did you do that to me? Like with that video. Like he was like, that was so hard.
Can
But
people
yeah, it was a
find
lot
your
of fun.
video right now?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on my
YouTube.
YouTube channel.
Great.
Yeah,
Okay.
that, and then I posted the whole, like I like was vlogging it and stuff, and put together a whole show day video. So it's like
Yay.
the whole
Okay.
weekend leading up to the show and like all of that. So there's footage of
Okay.
me on stage and all that fun stuff.
We're gonna have to
Um,
go and watch it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I still go watch it every now and then just to like hype myself up. Like, damn, I fucking did that. Like,
yeah. Like
it's-
the Dr. Dovek dream extravaganza that she did. We got a video done of us, and it was like I watched it so many times because it was just so exciting to be like, yeah, we did this.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
right.
It's just fun because you're just like, I don't think it's vanity or anything like that. It's just like re-hyping yourself up to like, we can continue to do this. We've got this.
It's reassurance.
It's
for sure.
It's good. Yeah, like on your rough days, your off days, you're just like, man. And then it's like you watch that and it's like, fuck, okay, never mind, I did that. Like there was like, I would say at least 1,000 people probably in the arena, like in the auditorium on the show. Like there was, and it was loud. Like everybody, like, I mean, I was up there and I'm like throwing my arms, I'm like showing my loose skin, and I'm like pumping my arms, and everybody's like screaming and clapping, and it was just it was the coolest shit. Like, like, all right, I did that. Like,
so did your mom go with you?
She did not. She didn't go to the show. The tickets were like expensive as hell, and she does not do well with driving. So I was like,
got it.
Don't even worry about it. It's all going to be live. Like, just watch it here. Like, it's all good. Plus, it was so freaking stressful, like being, because I'm exhausted all the time at that point. Like, I'm starved and so much down. Like, I'm just always like, whatever. Like, I mean, I was still working a full-time job at the time. Like, I was working 70 to 80 hours a week at that point. Like, the whole crap. It was unreal. But it kept my mind off of not being able to eat whenever I wanted. So it worked.
It's definitely a distraction. Because how long ago was that?
That was I say last year. I forget, it's 21 now. That was 2019.
2019, the summer of 2019.
Yeah. So yeah, it was February 2019 through the end of June 2019.
Awesome.
And it was freaking crazy. I mean, just being around all those people that you like. I watched so many of their YouTube videos, like while I was on the stairs or while I was on, the treadmill or doing cardio or whatever. Like anytime I was tired and just didn't want to get up and go to the gym or whatever, like I'd just start watching their YouTube videos, and then all of a sudden I'm taking pictures with them like on stage and shit. And I'm just like,
amazing.
Damn, this is crazy. Like,
So
and afterwards,
go ahead.
Sorry. Afterwards, I actually had people like come up to me acting like they were acting to them. Like they were like, yo, Ethan, right? Like, can I get a picture with you? And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, okay.
It's so weird.
For sure. And there was like 2 or 3 people standing there waiting while me and this dude took a picture so somebody else could get in there and take a picture. And I'm just like,
awesome.
What the fuck is this? Like, some small town dude like that did some, like lost some weight, and now it's like people are just hyped up to take a picture and shit.
Because now you're their inspiration, because you got inspired by the guys that you're watching, and now you become that guy. Like,
it's insane. Like it was the coolest thing ever.
You mentioned the loose skin. So how did you deal with the loose skin? When did it start happening? Like, how does that affect your life, the loose skin?
I feel like it's not awful. I want to say, like, I feel like it's like in clothes. My main problem is like my chest. Like if I wear a shirt that's like, I usually wear a 2X just because they're looser. Because like I can wear an extra large, and whenever I was like really like dieted down for the show, the skin was, I mean, paper thin. Like it was nothing in between it anymore. So with that, everything was laid so flat I could wear an extra large. At one point I actually wore a large, and it was fine just because like the skin was so flat, it was hanging down that you couldn't see or tell really. But that's kind of my main part, that, and I mean, the typical, like it overhangs like down over my belt and stuff. I would say probably around, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me except for like when it comes to like being on stage, like working out in the gym and stuff. Like it's harder to see like results and stuff, I guess, because the muscle is buried. But it's definitely, honestly, it was when I got down to about 245, 250, somewhere in there. Like, once I hit about 250 pounds was when it was like really, like, I mean, just really loose. Like other than that, like I feel like it fills out, and I almost kind of don't even look like I don't know. I guess I still look like I've lost weight. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, like, I feel like it fills out and like I look normal in my mind, but maybe it's just because I've been dealing with it for 3.5 years now. So I'm just like, oh yeah, it's the way it is.
Yeah, you're used to it.
That's definitely the plan for this year. I'm planning on getting all my plastics and getting everything done this year. Just because I like being on stage. Like, I'm definitely going to be competing. Like, that is I'm going to keep doing this bodybuilding stuff, and to be able, I was wanting to do it again this year, but I need to get my plastics, and that's going to put me out of the gym for probably 3 months, 2 to 3 months, like, of being able to work hard. And so I just kind of realized if I go back on stage with all the loose skin, I'm not going to stand a chance, really, like, you know, because the way they judge and critique, I'm not going to stand a chance. So there's no point in wasting a year like dieting down, because when you're dieting, you can't really build muscle, like, because you're eating less calories than you need. So you can't really build muscle. So I figured you might as well just keep eating, you know, higher calories and putting on muscle and getting bigger, and have the surgery, and then just keep growing and getting bigger up until next year. And I'll just probably compete next summer.
Yeah, and you're gonna kill it.
So did the
for sure.
the loose skin ever affect like how you would work out? Like, did it make it harder or anything like that?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
So
yeah, it was I mean, whenever, like I said, when I got down to that, like 250, 240, like whenever I would do like planks or something, like it never got in the way, but it does, like, it'll hang down. You kind of look like a pregnant dog, like a dog that's like has tits full of milk. Like, you kind of have that appearance. Like, so it was yeah, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you
yes,
like, oh,
completely.
I know exactly what he's talking about. Like, so that's, I mean, that
I was trying to picture
it's
that
just the visual. Yeah,
like hold on.
I have a picture. I can send you a picture.
I was gonna say you could. I was gonna be like, take off your shirt, but never mind.
Okay, I think Eric's gonna have a problem with that one.
Yeah. Like, God, can you hear this? Like,
that's amazing. So up next, you're gonna get plastics. You're gonna compete again. You're finished with nursing school?
Yeah, I graduated in May, right in the middle of all this shit. Like,
oh my goodness.
I finished in May. Yeah, we went to spring break and never went back. So
wow.
that was awesome. Actually, I didn't
right?
mind. I mean,
you're like,
I got to sit at home and work on my computer, rather, because I was always that kid that, like, I don't pay attention in class. Like, I suck at paying attention. So, like, I was sitting on my laptop shopping on Amazon and shit during class anyways. So, like, it didn't matter.
You're like, I got this, don't worry about it.
It actually it was a lot harder online, just because they made you do so much more work, like, because they had to meet certain requirements that you didn't get since you weren't in clinicals anymore in the hospital. So that part was a little rough, but you'd have to wake up at 6 a.m. and work all day to get it turned in by 3, and it was something. Plus my ADHD, I've sucked at that. Like, I'm just like sitting, I'm not good at working from home, like, because I'm like sitting there working, and then all of a sudden I'm like in the kitchen cleaning or something. I'm like, shit, I forgot I got to do this. Like, gotta go back. Like, I guess
you have squirrel moments. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
All
I have day.
Yeah.
So how has weight loss surgery affected, like, your relationships, like family, friends, anything like that?
I would say everything's been pretty good. I'm not really close with much of my distant family, I guess, like cousins and stuff like that, which they're also in Nebraska. So we would only see them, you know, even growing up, it was like once a year, maybe for Christmas or something. But I grew up like on ranches and in the country and stuff, like cowboy stuff like that. And so that's all what they do and everything. So I'm more like fit into the, like, I live in downtown Dallas, and, you know, like you say, I've got a little bit more of the bougie tendencies. So, like, we have differences. It hasn't hurt them. I mean, you know, we all still get along and everything, but we don't talk that often because we're just very different. But me and my mom are super close. My mom, she was actually the first person I saw lose weight. Like, she basically had surgery, but didn't. Like, she just didn't eat. Like, she like kind of starved herself. Like, so she was eating like 600 calories a day, but she just wouldn't like eat. Like, that was how she did it. Like, she was
kind of like doing it with you, or
no, she did it before me. She did it whenever I was like finishing up high school. She ended up losing I want to say about 150 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, like you said earlier, my whole family's big too. So like
okay.
she used to be like 300, 330, somewhere in there. And now she's like 180, I want to say.
Wow. That's
but
incredible.
yeah, so I watched her do that and I was like, holy shit, like normal people can do this. Like that's cool.
Mhm.
Like it's
Yeah,
not just
yep.
like, it's not just the people that are, doing all the stuff. Like it's like people can actually do it.
Yeah.
And so her and I are super close. I mean, I definitely think we've gotten closer throughout all this just because she constantly says I'm her inspiration, but shit, I couldn't do anything I did without her being the way she was. She was all I had.
That's so sweet. I love that.
I'm a mama's boy for sure.
I think we can tell just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's
in a
okay.
Good way, in a good
my
way.
mom's a single mom. I never knew my dad. So I totally understand, like, when your parent is your mom and your dad, like you just kind of form a closer relationship. I think like you just, especially when they're a good parent for both, like you just, I know I admire my mom. Like she's crazy intelligent and she's just the best mom in the world. So, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, because you have siblings, right?
Yeah, I have 2 younger sisters.
Did that like
that
straighten through the relationship, or?
I will say that it may have kind of hindered a little bit just because it's like it kind of turned into a case of like, which we're good now, thankfully. We just went through a phase and it was a lot of miscommunications. We just kind of fell off and weren't talking anymore after we used to be really close. And it just seemed like it was there was always smart remarks about like, me being bougie or me being fancy and shit and thinking I'm too good and stuff like that. So like, a lot of the like, this is how we were born, this is how we should stay, as opposed to my kind of mindset that's like, fuck that. Like I can literally, I can change the way my kids are born and their kids are born. Like I can completely redirect the way our family tree goes. Like I'm not gonna just sit here and live in the conformity of what we were born into. Like that's not me. And I just
amazing.
Kind of think we butted heads and clashed a little bit there, but it ended up being a lot more misconception and miscommunication. Nobody like thought to say, hey, why don't we talk anymore?
Right.
So that's good. But yeah, it's definitely it's getting a lot better. I think everything is definitely on the up and up now. So everything has worked out pretty good. Yeah.
For the dudes out there that are listening, I think they need Melanie to ask, how is like sex life losing all the weight?
So much better. So much better. Unbelievably. Like everything is completely different. Like, oh God. I can't even like just the ability to do certain stuff. Like, I mean, you just your flexibility and your mobility is better. Like you're just able to control yourself, like your whole body, like in every aspect. So like you can just everything works out better. So it's definitely been
all right, guys, so you heard it. It's better. It's better.
That in itself makes everything worth it. Like aside from being able to shop and buy normal clothes, like
that's
that in itself.
One. All right.
Awesome.
And what is your biggest NSV?
I don't know. I would say honestly, a lot of it has been my mindset, like just realizing like now I genuinely don't believe that there's anything that can like stop me. I don't think that there's anything out there that I can't do or can accomplish. Because like I lost 250 fucking pounds. Like
exactly.
So make a list of people that have done it versus people that haven't. Like, people that like just on the planet, like out of everybody, like that there's a small percentage. Like, and I just think that comes with like it takes something and like so many people like, and I've maintained it, like so many people you see lose 200 pounds, but then 4 years out they may be up 100 or something, and it's like I've been in the same place and only getting better for so long. Like I've come so far, and I don't think that there's anything that I can't do. And it gets misconstrued a lot. A lot of people, I need to be better at, I guess, toning it down to where people don't think I'm being a cocky asshole.
I'm saying
but
it's being a little too cocky.
No, I think
Yeah.
you are allowed to be. I'm sorry, but you've worked your ass off. So if you want to be a little cocky about your accomplishments, go right ahead. Like,
right. I think there's like a fine line between confidence and cocky. And like, I definitely say I tiptoe it, but like, it's, I guess it's just more of like, I have more of an assertive mindset, and it's like people have excuses and stuff, and they think I'm being like an insensitive like dick whenever I'm like, you can do it, like look what I did, like. But realistically, I'm literally just saying, not even me, like let's look at 50 other pages or 50 other guys that have done it, 50 other women that have done it, like let's look at this, like it's
just
possible.
like to I think for me, because I deal with that same problem, is that they just have excuses. And I notice now, like going through this process and working so damn hard, it's like you're just building an excuse for yourself not to do these things. So don't put me down because I'm working hard, and all you have to do is just work hard. So own it. You don't want to work hard. Yeah. And don't be mad at me for calling you out on it. Yeah. Like, stop making an excuse why you can't do these things, because guess what? You can. You're choosing not to do these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll never get shit on, or you'll never get hated on by anybody that's doing more than you. The only people that are ever going to talk shit about you, or ever going to like say, oh, you're such an asshole, you're so cocky, you're so full of yourself, are people that are secretly pissed because they're not doing what you're doing. Like it's only, or not even not what you're doing. Like it could be something completely polar opposite, but they're not putting the effort, they're not putting the energy into being who they want to be or being where they want to be. So they're deflecting that to you, because it's easier to deflect it to you than to face their own problems.
Than to own it. Yeah, because what I feel like successful people like ourselves is that and I'm going to say it, we are successful.
Yeah, like, because we have a push and we know, like, we go all in. Yeah. Like it's not half-assed here.
And it's not at all. Like you've actually like read all the stuff, done the research, and then executed it. Like that's what makes you successful. We didn't make an excuse for ourselves to not do this. So exactly. It's just frustrating sometimes, because like I definitely get I get a little emotional about it. I get mad because I'm just like, people put me down all the time about like my accomplishments. It's like, hey man, just acknowledge that I've made the accomplishment. And then like, if you want to accomplish something, then do something. Yeah. Then do it.
If you want to do it, just get out and just do it.
Yeah. Stop hating on me because you're not doing what you want to do. Like,
Yep. Exactly. I've luckily developed very thick skin, or I guess I probably always had it growing up as big as I was. You kind of had to, but
you do. You totally do.
Yeah. Like I just, it doesn't bother me. And it's like somebody talks shit and I'm just like, okay, cool. Sorry for whatever's bothering you. Like, you know,
right.
Hopefully you get where you want to be, so you feel, quit feeling the need to shit on people. Like,
right. That's a
better
problem, not a me problem.
Right, I love the response of okay.
Right,
like,
right, exactly.
Keep it's like doing that, because that's fine. You can think whatever you want. Yeah.
Right. We're gonna check back on this in a year, and I'm gonna be light years ahead, and you're gonna be in the exact same place talking shit on somebody's post, or sending somebody's post to somebody else to talk shit, because you don't have the balls to do it to their face. Like
exactly.
That's what it comes down to. Like people are just
it's kids playing as adults. Like they're just hiding behind their smartphone or their computer or whatever, and they think that it's big and bad because they can talk shit about people, and that's not what it is. So
yeah.
So
I agree entirely.
And being like more of a successful person, like you can actually appreciate someone else that is successful, because you know all the work that they had to do to get there. And that's what I kind of try to relate to people when they're kind of being haters, and I can see it. And I'm like, hey man, like, you don't know what they did to get there. Like it takes a while. Like it's not instant. Everybody wants the instant gratification. You have to put some work into whatever you're doing, whether it's a business or whether it's your body, your mind. Like you have to do some work. It's not going to be done overnight.
Definitely.
Like
I love seeing success, because like when I look at these people that are like right now, I'm like 25, like I'm at that point where I'm very like business driven and just trying to like set up and build, so I don't have to work my ass off for somebody else for the rest of my life. Like I'm trying to get to the point where I can be out of the W-2 job by 30. Like my goal is to be done clocking in and working a regular job in the next 5 years. And so when I see somebody that like right now I'm working on in like commercial real estate, like trying to buy a actual like whole apartment complexes, like that's where I'm at right now, is trying to buy apartments. And like I look at these mentors of mine, and it's like one guy has went from, you know, a $500,000 net worth to over 40 million in less than 15 years. And it's like,
Wow.
okay, I don't even know what number that is, like 800% or something,
Yeah.
his
Right?
net worth in 15 years. I mean, come on. Like, to me, that just
Yeah.
proves it's possible. Like, success just means it's possible. It doesn't matter who's having the success. It's just like, okay, there's success out there. Like, it is possible to do. It doesn't matter. And you can equate it to anything.
Yeah.
Like,
and
no matter
that,
what they're successful in, you can translate it to what you want to be successful in.
what it teaches me is that you don't have to be special.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to put in the
Exactly.
work.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like, I'm not trying to be like a football player. I don't have that kind of like athleticism, you know, like, know your boundaries, of course. But like, I think the deal is like, when you find something that you like to do, just put all of yourself in it, because now it's all you.
Can I congratulate you on that word?
What?
Athleticism.
I know.
I was very proud of you saying it. So good job.
I did not
Good job.
fuck that one
Yeah.
up. That was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, oh wow, she said that right on point. I'm proud. Once you have your plastic surgery, do you want to come back on and tell us?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out what other segues we can do, because I'm having fun talking. Like, I'm like, shit, how many different episodes can we get out of this? Can we just start our own, like the Ethan series? Like, we can just talk about anything.
I'm
Like,
down.
we can just get on here and
definitely.
bullshit. Like, just have a whole nother playlist.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do it. I'm
All
down
right,
for it. Yeah.
let's do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Well,
yeah, I was thinking, I mean, we can definitely have you back on, and we'll just figure out some different avenues to
hell yeah.
kind of.
I would say, to
out.
wrap this up, is there anything you want to tell our followers that can inspire them, or that you had to deal with that we haven't talked about?
Mm-hmm.
I think my main thing is just remembering that at the end of the day, like, success happens one day at a time. Like, I saw something the other day that says Rome wasn't built in a day, but they damn sure were laying down bricks every hour. Like, at the end of the day, I mean, nothing great happens in a day, but every minute, every day, like every hour of that day counts. Like, you're not going to build something insane in one day. You're not going to lose 100 pounds in one day, but the decisions you make are all like compounding and leading up to where you want to be. You know, that's all it is. Like, everything, every major breakthrough, every major milestone for somebody, no matter who it is or no matter what you see, happened based on each individual decision. Like, everything they did, they just made a bunch of single decisions in a row, or, you know, not even in a row, they just made a bunch of right decisions. Like, you know, choosing to stay home and eat your meal prep, or choosing to stay home and cook something that fits within, you know, your calories or whatever, as opposed to going out with your friends and having pizza and wings and stuff, no matter how good that sounds right now.
Right?
That sounds amazing.
That does I've been dying for some wings, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's genuinely all it is. Like, you didn't gain 100 pounds, you didn't get 100 pounds overweight in one day, and you're not going to lose that 100 pounds on one day. Like, it took multiple months, years, whatever, of eating, you know, of not controlling your eating, or if it's a health issue or something, you know, it took multiple days or months of that to happen.
Yeah.
So like, don't be down on yourself if, you know, you lose a pound, but the next day you're up 2 pounds. Like, it's okay. Like, nothing is linear. Like, success isn't linear.
Well, to piggyback on that, really, for me, it's like, when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, you being good and like learning how to be disciplined for a couple of years is nothing out of your whole life. So why are we like so stressed? Like, oh, it's gonna take me a year. Yeah, like, it goes by like nothing. Like,
right.
Take out the year, learn about yourself for that year. Like, figure out what you like. And because I know when I started working out, I didn't realize how much I loved the row machine, and I would have never known that if I didn't try it.
Right.
You know, and if
Those are exhausting.
They are exhausting. That's why I love it. I got like forearms from it, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Well, and that's the same thing with yoga. I always said, I was like, no, it's too slow. It's too slow. I don't want to do that. Like, it's not.
I love yoga.
And then I did it, and I was like, oh, what the fuck was I talking about? Like, I started getting like the roundness on the top of my arms, and like, I was just like, holy shit. Like, this is like legit. This, you get fit from this. So
you go to a yoga class and you're like, what the hell? Like, this is a glorified stretching class. Why would I go here? And then you wake up the next morning and you can't walk, and you're like, oh shit. Like,
that's
okay,
exactly
this worked a little more than I thought. Like,
exactly. Yeah, I was just like going through the motions, doing my, you know, half hour every day. And then I was like, oh, I've got muscles.
Yeah.
Like, Oh, this is kind of cool.
And then I think celebrating those victories help you keep going too.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
we're all about the non-scale victories.
Yes.
Because the scale sometimes doesn't move for a while. So you have to figure out other ways to feel, like supported and inspired to keep going. And those are the things, those definitions.
Well, and even being, 20 months out at this point, like I am still having non-scale victories every day. Like I find something new that I'm just like, oh, I didn't even realize I could do that. So, those non-scale victories, just because the scale stops, because I've already hit my goal weight, just because it stops, like you can still find new things to like congratulate yourself or celebrate,
Well, like I'm almost 6 years, so I'll be 6 years in May.
Yep.
And I had a shit ton in the summertime because like, COVID, can't do anything, but we got like our trees taken down. And my mission was to cut up these trees by hand. I did not want to pay someone to come out. So I would like cut them down, put them in the barrels, and then I would burn some, and then I would take some to like the debris place. And I would have never done that shit before, but it felt so good and it felt amazing. And my husband would be like, I really don't want to do that today. And I'm like, not even asking, this is all me. Like I can, and it felt great to be like, I can do this shit. I don't need anybody to help me.
Oh yeah.
Like, this takes time.
Like I took out baseboards this summer and I had no idea. Like I just needed to be shown. And I'm like sitting in the closet, like taking out carpet and taking out the baseboards. And I was like, I helped put together the back deck. Like there was so many things that I was just like, oh, fuck, I can do all this.
Yeah.
And
never would have done it before.
Never.
No, well, I have lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and fibromyalgia. So I was bedridden for about 3 years before I had surgery.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
So that like just walking to the bathroom, like that was all my energy for the day.
Yeah.
So
damn.
doing like baseboards and things like that, like it's like, yes, go
night
me.
and
Like
day
I could do this. Like,
yeah,
like I would never even be here.
No.
Before. So it was like I didn't leave my house really at all. So this is the year of yes.
That's
I'm gonna do everything. So
I did an aerial yoga class. If you haven't done an aerial yoga class, you should definitely.
What is that?
That is insane.
You're in the air.
These massive like ribbons hang from these things in the air, and you like twist your legs in them and hang and flip upside down, and it is the craziest thing. Like highly recommend. It is like the best pain in the world. Like
the best pain in the world.
It hurts so good. Like, it's one of them. It's a lot of fun. Like it was one of those things, and I'm like, holy fuck, I cannot believe I'm here doing this. Why would I do this? Like I'm not even fond of heights. Like now my goal is to go skydiving. Like I'm dying to go, but unfortunately for my height, I got to get my skin, my plastics first, I think. Cause like most of them won't take you up unless you're 230 and like 230 or under. And I'm just like, God, dude, like I was miserable when I was 230. Like, why are you trying to take me back there? Like, so I'm probably going to have to do it after one of my shows. Like I've dieted down and I'm like skinny as hell. And like, like, let's just jump now. Like, let's go do it then. Like right at the day after.
Yes.
I don't think we ever asked actually, what kind of skin removal are you going to get?
So I'm doing like full, so they're going to do chest all the way around, pretty much 360 here. Cause I have a lot in my like upper, I think it's called like a bra line lift I think I've seen for guys, they call it a bro line lift just so they don't
that's
bra
cute.
line.
That's really
But like, so just 360 pretty much here all the way around. And then they'll move like my nipple up to wherever the hell it's supposed to be. And then 360 like tummy tuck. So they'll go all the way around. I don't know if I'm going to do the FDO where they come up the midline or not. I kind of want to, so it's tighter, but I also kind of don't know if I want that extra scar. But I see a lot of people that don't do it, and then they still, like when they sit, they have quite a bit of loose skin still
right in the middle,
in that upper area, right under your sternum. And I'm trying to have abs, damn it. So I'm thinking it might be worth it just to cut it. Like I'm trying to get like Thor. Like that's the goal. Everybody wants to look like Chris.
We do love our Thor.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's your choice, obviously, but I'm just thinking like go through it once. Just get it done.
Right.
Like just get it all done, and then you only have to do the recovery once because
that's what I want to do.
Brutal.
Yeah. How long is recovery for something like that?
I know you can't go to the gym for like probably 6 to 8 weeks, and then you're
Yeah.
very limited even after that.
Mhm.
So I probably would be working depending on the job, I guess. Like right now, like so I'm a nurse, but I'm a like a regional like RN case manager. So I work over 10 different communities. So my job is more of like a suit and tie type nursing instead of the, like
Day to
actually on
day.
the floor. Yeah, so my job is definitely a lot more compliant with that. I can do a lot of my stuff remotely,
Okay.
and so that's good. But I would probably be able to like actually do work and stuff within 2 to 3 weeks. I would say 2 weeks probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of surgeons I'm finding won't do the upper and the lower together though.
Okay.
So that's where I'm a little disappointed. I found one surgeon I really like, but he was like, anytime we do a 360 tummy tuck, we never do. We will not do any other surgery with that, and you have to stay the night in the hospital. And then there's some that are like, we'll do them together, but you have to stay the night in the hospital. And then there's some that are like, yeah, we'll do them together, and you can go home after you're done. And I'm like, God, I don't know which I feel better about. I would rather just stay
Yeah,
home, but at the
exactly.
same time, I'm kind of like, maybe I should stay.
I feel like you
We
should
should
stay.
stay.
Yeah, I feel like you should stay.
I think we want you to stay.
Yeah, we've decided. We voted and you lost. So
Right.
yeah.
That seems to be the way it's going. I don't think anybody wants to help me either. But they said like the main thing is like you have to like pick yourself up, because when it's all the way around both, like front
Mm,
and back at your midline, you have to
Yeah.
like use your arms to pick yourself up, and you can't use your arms if you had your chest and upper back done.
That
So
makes
your arms are limited.
Oh.
So then it's like you're kind of screwed. Like
Yeah.
yeah. You just
So-
like lay flat, don't move, don't do
yeah,
nothing.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And then all the muscles I've got just goes away, and I'm
Yeah.
just back to
Mm.
existing again. And then it's time to build it all again.
And then they'll say, you'll
Yes.
build it back. You'll build
Yes,
it back.
you'll get
Yeah,
it.
muscle
You'll do
memory is
it.
real. Muscle memory is real. So
Yeah.
we'll see
Yeah.
how it goes. If I'm gonna do,
Awesome.
I'm still trying to hopefully find one. There's actually a guy out of Houston that is a plastic surgeon. He's also an IFBB pro bodybuilder. So he
Oh.
would know, like if I went to him, he would know like, look, I'm trying to get my pro card. Like I'm trying to compete and like be taken seriously. Like, so I think he would have more of the eye of like aesthetic of what they're looking for. So he would be able to kind of take that into consideration when he's cutting, as opposed to just somebody that handles weight loss cases and, tries to
That's awesome.
make the skin disappear. So
Okay, so keep us updated.
You keep us updated.
yeah, for sure.
Everybody stay tuned for that episode for when
Yes.
he does.
We should do one right after my plastics when I'm high as hell on all the painkillers.
Yes,
Like we should.
let's
That
do
would
it.
be that'd just be a huge blooper. Like the whole thing would
Yes,
just be like.
yes.
I think that would be fun as hell. Like everybody
Yes.
just smoke a bowl, and we'll just sit around and talk. Like,
Yes, exactly.
I'm down.
Exactly. I'll have a mimosa. Mel will smoke a bowl. You'll be high. It's totally fine.
Yeah,
Good to go.
I'll
It'll
be
be fine.
narked out. We'll be good. That'll be fun.
That'll be hysterical.
All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yes.
Thank y'all for having me. It's
It was
been
so
fun.
much fun.
It was way fun.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I'm so glad.
I
I'm so
know.
glad that we interviewed you, because I was telling her I was nervous, and she's like, "Why?" And I was like, "I don't know, like because we don't normally know every guy that we kind of interview."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a big first, like not like a first, but it's a little bit of a first for us. And I was like, I don't know, like what if we can't talk? Like I don't know, like
And I was
Right,
like,
like we don't
can
know
you
this guy.
feel
How's
the-
this gonna work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we're like, we can talk through anything. So
Right,
it's fine.
Same.
and it
Same,
worked
that's the problem.
perfectly.
I'm very talkative, outspoken. Like we're good.
We don't
Awesome.
find it to be a problem. So just
Yeah, well, that's good.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned for many more things coming with Ethan still
Yes.
and us and
Yes.
our Sleep
For
Life
sure.
podcast. So
we are so excited, and we will get you the YouTube onto our followers so they can all go over and watch your YouTube. And we're
Okay,
just,
cool.
this is amazing. So thank you
Okay.
so much.
yeah.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me. It's been a lot of fun. I had fun.
Yay. All right. We'll talk
Thank
soon.
y'all.
Bye.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.